Hey everyone, Nick Weber here with another On Target. Today we're going to talk about setting a security culture and making it stick. That's the hard part. The first thing you got to start off with is setting the standard if you don't already have one. And if you do have one, take a look at it, make sure it still works. Key thing with setting a security standard is that you have to support the business while meeting your organization's risk profile. What that means is you can come in and set a standard that is absolutely hardcore, zero defect, but if it gets in the way of the business doing the business things, no one's going to follow it. You've got to work with the business, particularly your operations folks and the people who are there keeping the lights on, as it were. With the standard, you've got to set that and you've got to live it all the time, every time. Sometimes there are exceptions that have to be made. That happens. Life happens. The enemy gets a vote. But if an exception has to be made, take a step back once the dust has settled a little bit and determine, was that truly a one-off, or does your standard need to evolve? And evolve it with the times. Evolve it as you learn. We're all learning and growing every day, so your security standards should as well. On the individual side, I could spend a lot of time on this one, and there are folks, particularly in my military career, who have heard me go on this stuff ad nauseum. But the biggest thing is situational awareness. Understand what's going on. Not just with what you're trying to do right now, but step back and look at the big picture. Just like in the safety culture, for our folks, particularly in the electric industry, our line crews or substation electricians, they don't rush right into that substation or into that site without stepping back to take a look at things. Same with security. And it doesn't matter if you're in an office doing the same thing you've done for the last 364 days, or if you're responding to something out with an outage in the field. Always pay attention. One of the things I always taught, particularly my soldiers, was to understand the pattern of life, if you will. Know what happens day in, day out. Know what normal looks like. That allows you to not just look for abnormalities, the things that stand out to catch our attention, but the more critical ones, the ones you usually think of after the fact, what we used to call the absence of normal. A great example of this one from when I was in Iraq. I had one of my NCOs, Sergeant Schilling, love that dude, that he had the same job, and we tried to rotate him around. He said, nope, I like what I do, sir. I'm going to hang out right here. And he got to where he understood the pattern of life in the area around our operation so well that he noticed one morning that some people weren't coming out and doing their normal daily tasks. Kids weren't playing ball in the street. Garbage cans weren't being pulled back in. It was abnormal. It was the absence of normal. It wasn't necessarily abnormal, but the normal things weren't happening. He called it up, and our headquarters radio operator didn't really understand. It's okay, noted, wrote it down. Within 15 minutes, the base was under attack with over 37 rockets. It was the absence of normal. The folks out there understood what was happening. They couldn't tell us, but they told us without telling us, so that makes sense. So you look for those things, those pieces where it's not quite right. Listen to your spidey sense. Your intuition is one of your most powerful tools. Pay attention to those. So those are the things you do to set a security culture. They're little things. It's not a big thing. You can write a big thing, put it on the whiteboard, everybody rallies around it, and that's where you're heading on your strategic journey. But don't be discouraged if that journey isn't linear. I've never been on very many journeys that were a straight line. Usually there's some sort of, you have to adjust the tack to make up for the wind. You have to detour around an obstacle. You got to backtrack a little bit and find a better way. That's the nature of things. As long as you're moving forward, you're doing well. Keep that end goal in mind, but celebrate the little wins and make sure you get there. Thanks for joining.
Don't miss out on any of our insightful content. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay informed whenever we release new videos. For top-tier security solutions, Archer is your trusted partner. Explore our offerings at archerint.com and get in touch via email or phone to fortify your company's defenses. Your questions drive our content. Leave them in the comments below and join us every Monday for a fresh episode of On Target with Archer.